Started.
Welcome.
David Dobrik here.
Welcome.
welcome.
Should we make like an immersive experience?
Yeah. Like ASMR.
Welcome to our haunted house.
WandaVision. I think overall.
What era did Vision look the hottest?
No.
Vashon.
Vashon.
No, he was the cameo at the end.
Also the 80s. Everyone was just a standout in the 80s. Wanda
Vision. Looked
Vision,
great in the 80s.
Agatha
looked great, actually.
Wanda actually looks great in
the entire time.
Portion.
Can we talk about Elizabeth Olsen? If she doesn't get I was gonna say a Grammy.
A Grammy.
An
Oscar.
Not an Oscar. What's it for the television?
What's the Tony?
A Golden Globe.
Globe and Globe.
If she doesn't get a Globe and Globe
If she doesn't get a Globe and Globe.
You know, because the acting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The way that she's able to translate her, you can, the way she translates each era, it's so visibly different in each era, the way that she acts and the way that she portrays that character. It's amazing.
It's I mean, I don't know anything. I literally don't know anything about acting. Maybe we should learn stuff about acting.
I'm an actor, and
I've dabbled in the craft.
No, but you can just obviously I'm not well informed enough about each era.
I don't know how to specifically be
I can't pull out specific things, but you can just tell that
it was well done.
Yeah,
that was good.
You can tell that she really.
That was good.
That was good, Taco Boy!
That was good. It was good.
I think the series as a whole was solid. I will say, though, I think there was a lot of things I was not necessarily promised, but a lot of things that were set up at the beginning that didn't have any...
did not come to fruition.
Right. It didn't... There was no follow-through. There was no...
I think, wasn't it production rushed?
It was rushed. They were finishing. Don't quote me on this, but
off the record.
Our fans, they were finishing.
Do not quote us on this.
They were finishing production, the post production. There was also I got distracted, but there was a lot of scenes that they had filmed that they didn't get to put into the actual series because they just ran out of time.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say because I was like, I remember when episode 4 came out. It's almost like we had a personal connection to the team because I was like that was rough. It felt like the pacing was for the first time in any of the episodes. The pacing was completely off. It felt rushed. It felt like we missed out on things. It felt like a literal. Just a complete filler episode. Yeah. And I was it was jarring because it's not what you expect from WandaVision, let alone Marvel in general. But even with that, even with they miss a lot of beats, it's they pioneered a style of television that has never been done before.
It was genuinely an experience I'll never forget. Yeah. And I think the show obviously took it did this is Marvel Studios. And it's a show that was so vastly different, and you'll hear this a lot, but so vastly different than what we've come to expect from Marvel, but they took this they took the opportunity to genuinely experiment. Yeah. And I think it worked. Yeah. It worked because you got something that was even with all of the there are flaws. There are things that you can pick out and say okay, that could have, that didn't necessarily work. Yada yada yada. But regardless, I think it's one of my favorite Marvel projects.
And coming from the perspective of people who do work on creative projects, also who Us four.
Oh.
Everybody.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Us four. But like coming from the perspective of like people who work on creative projects together, I think like we look at our own work and can see the flaws and see where we like really like attempted to pull through with an idea and it just fell through.
Yeah.
Like, and you can like, so like what I'm saying is that I can understand like trying to do something that is like what the word's like, not aspirational, not like advantageous, but like aspire, like
I know what you're saying.
like a reach, like a
Yeah.
like a little bit like a reach, like
A little bit.
it's like a like
Spontaneous.
it's like but like
I was just-
like a reach,
Something so like it's different. Something so different.
like out there, like
Yeah.
different, but like a spirit. Anyways, something that's like so like
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
like something that's like something that has never been done before, something that is pioneered as a. I forgot what I was saying now, so it doesn't even matter. The thought's gone, but I mean. Let's like
I really quick. I think
Yeah.
I'll say the series hit a high. I think the series took like this project, this entire show to like one of like the higher ranking Marvel projects.
Yeah.
After episode, I mean the entire season or series was great, but I think after episode 8, when we got the flashback, like you're going through, that was phenomenal. Like
Oh yeah.
it was, I think like some of the like I think one of the best things Marvel has done, like managed to do, was to tell a story within like whatever time frame that was.
Yeah.
That was so like, and I think it featured like the best acting from Elizabeth Olsen,
From the children, from the kids,
just everything. It
the
was just
filmmaking,
phenomenal.
the shots,
yeah.
the like the atmosphere, everything. Like it's just like
Yeah.
it's like genuinely incredible. What I was gonna say was like let's talk about like break it up into pieces. Like how do you feel about the show in terms of like entertainment value?
Oh. Entertaining. You guys wanna?
I thought it was literally like it's just at the edge of your seat like
Yeah.
the entire time.
Mhm.
Every single episode, because every single episode is just like there's something new, whether it be like a whole new decade or just like there's just always something new, and I think that like just made it like a million times better. Just because it was already like super good, but
Oh, okay.
stop talking now.
After the first episode, like literally the first episode, we like got like we were like all like very hyped about it. We like got on call, and I was like scared. Like I don't know if you remember, but we were sitting like with like all of us on FaceTime, like sitting there like propped up on the TV, and like both of us were sitting on the ottoman, and I like had to like I was like very like nervous, and I kept like looking around the room, and we had like the red lights on, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I was like nervous, even though the episode wasn't necessarily like scary or anything, but like obviously the end part, and that was like the first time that we'd ever seen anything like that, and I was like I'm gonna piss my pants. I have to go to bed right now. They definitely like took notes from the Twilight Zone, and that was made in that decade in order to like pull that, like evoke that emotion.
The first 2 episodes were genuinely like, a lot of people didn't like it, first of all, because black and white, like
yes.
But I think those were, when I look back, I think those are some of my favorite episodes because of the way that it evoked the Twilight Zone, but there was just something so eerie about it, and I think like it was such a strong way to propel the series because you get the sense of like yes, and then you like after the flashback episode you get a sense of like why she did these things and what the purpose of like putting herself into this like sitcom, these eras, but like you're watching that play out and I lost my train of thought. But I think it's such a strong way to open the show because it propels you into this like idealistic, like you're watching these 2 people like who didn't get a chance to live out their lives, but there's always something like lurking, creeping. It's it was just so like it just makes you want more.
I think like one of the like I don't even know who the writers were for WandaVision. We should probably have done like some type of
It's
research.
Jack Schaefer.
Okay. Jack Schaefer.
Love you.
Love you. I had to like
I
check
was
his
gonna say,
face.
who
to
could
see
tell
if
if he was joking or
Oh,
not?
what? No, I'm being serious.
One of the best things that they did, like, that... Okay.
I'm sorry. You want to take these away?
Yes.
I need something else to fit on it.
I was looking for my Play-Doh. One of the things that should be praised in terms of, like, the writing of the show, I think, was the ability to walk us through bit by bit the emotions of what Wanda was feeling. Like her like creating the sanctuary in the first 2 episodes, then breaking that with like B-Man. We all were like shitting our pants, like what is Sword? What is B-Man? What's happening? Why is Color breaking in? Like is Wanda in charge? Is da 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 like, and I think like perfectly culminating to this point of finding out that like almost like everybody was right, you know, because we all thought like there was a third person involved.
Yeah, because there was so many outcomes in that. It was like not only you were right, but you were right, and it's like
yeah, it was like Wanda was being in the end, like from like although it was rooted in like grief and fear and pain, she was like hurting people because she was in so much pain. And I think just just praising the writing for the ability to pull the audience through the story.
I got chills thinking about it.
Of like exactly like pull the audience through the story of being like of like this human being dealing with something that it is like the unimaginable, but yet it's like something that we all have to eventually deal with. And it's like ripping the like that, and it's like so soon. And the fact that like knowing the backstory, even without knowing the backstory, that she killed Vision, like she killed the person that she loved most on the entire planet, and then like her coming this full circle of like in the end having to once again sacrifice the things that she created or the things that she loves for the sake of the greater good is like, it's like somehow equally as selfish and selfless.
yeah.
I just think it's very good writing with the pencil.
Yeah, and there's a scene in episode 5 where Vision is at his work, and he like wakes up Norm.
Mm-hmm.
And Norm's talking about like, oh, my family, I need to get out. She won't let us out, or she won't even. He kept referring to a she or her. People like we had speculated like, oh, he's not talking about Wanda. He's talking about someone else. And people were like, when we found out that like, oh no, Wanda was behind everything. People were disappointed that there wasn't this like third entity, overarching villain. But I think it's even more impactful thinking about like, no, Wanda was at the center of this. This isn't anyone else's story but Wanda's.
Yeah.
You know, and going along with the there's a scene at the last episode where the character we're introduced in the first episode, Mrs. Hart, where she says all the townspeople are like coming in and confronting Wanda and asking her to let them go, and this Mrs. Hart character tells her like, if you won't let us go, then just let us die. And it's just like that like hit me hard because it's like these people are genuinely in pain.
Also, nobody talks about the fact that people who weren't like casted were just locked in their rooms.
Right.
Like those people's children were just locked in their bedrooms for like
Yeah.
days.
But like the suffering and grief and fear, like they're not only feeling Wanda's pain, but they're feeling their own pain because like the fear of a mother not knowing if their child has starved already, like to death, and it's just like, I don't know. Once again, it's just like the right, like being able to like pull these things together, and like the way that there's, oh my god, the way that there are so many it's hard. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that I really liked the fact that they gave us so many leads. Like, we were like, it could be Agatha, it could be Herb. Is that his name?
Herb.
Herb.
It could be Jones.
The mailman.
It
The
could
mailman.
Be
I was
Dottie.
predicting
It could
for
be
the
mailman. It could be Pietro, aka Boner. It could be, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, even I heard that I read people online talking like it's Billy and Tommy. Tommy
and Tommy from
Why
Animal
does
Crossing.
Billy and Tommy.
Yeah.
Why did I question myself? It could be Billy and Tommy, but I like, and I really like that there was so many leads. One thing that I did not like, though, was, and I feel like this is almost like a classic Marvel scapegoat, was that, like, the portion where we would spend with Darcy and Jimmy, not just like all of it together, but the portions where they would act as our, like, catalyst to understanding the story, but in turn just answering questions for us,
Right.
just straight
like
up
when
being
Darcy would just be like, they're tracking Vision because I hacked the mainframe.
Yeah, they'd be like, beep boop 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 boop. It's CBDBW. It's what we got, but what gates, and nobody like implied. Darcy and Jimmy.
Specifically Darcy,
though, but just the way that they use Darcy as like an exposition character,
right?
and just like she nothing was ever implied. It wasn't subtle. It just felt like I'm going to say that this is cosmic background radiation and that she has created a new universe. What I did like was that the consistent drawback, though, to like pulling the thread between like comparing Wanda and her like pain and grief to the Big Bang. Mm-hmm. Because in the Big Bang, first there was nothingness, aka Wanda's pain. She felt nothing, saw nothing.
Well, at a time after she had killed Vision, that's what she was referring to when she felt like there was nothing.
She felt like there was nothing, and I think like from this nothingness came something all of a sudden, and it's like this comparison to Wanda being like a singularity and also like being drawn back to the Infinity Stones, and like I think it's really interesting. I just wish that, and I like would point out all the time to Louis when we were watching, but like it's the way that the exposition was just delivered by just dumping it on our faces instead of being like, I don't know. But at the same time, like, I don't even know, but like when it was like, Wanda's rewriting reality, and then she like grabbed the gun and shot her pants, Monica did. Mm-hmm. It was like, how would you rewrite that to make it a more engaging? I think they just didn't have time at the end of the day, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then you just look at a lot of, like you said, like, it's just like a Marvel trope. It's not even a Marvel trope, it's just a trope in general that's
large
used.
movies, because the whole audience isn't, like, as engrossed in Marvel cinematic universe as we are, and that's where it, like, makes a lot of sense, because it's like if my mom was watching it, she'd be like, what the balls is going on? And
take any, like, large blockbuster that has anything to do with some sci-fi topic, and they'll just like it's an info dump on like, we're using the photon blaster to shoot Uranus up my like but no, I understand that point.
I was gonna ask a dumb fucking question.
Whoa, there's no such thing as dumb questions, only dumb answers.
No, wrong.
So expected dumb answer.
Yeah. I was literally just gonna be like, so who's your guys' favorite character?
Oh, that is not a dumb question.
Because I think there's so many. Sorry.
Oh, also, what's your favorite era of sitcoms? That's also an interesting question.
I was just thinking about it. I keep thinking about the Malcolm in the Middle episode.
I think the 90s was a pretty
That's
sick.
so...
90s was cool. But I think the strongest was the 80s.
I think that was
the strongest sitcom episode.
The strongest sitcom episode? Mm-hmm. Like, in terms of pulling off the sitcom aesthetic, or...
No, it's just in terms of
design.
Just, like...
Not even set design, not even... It's just in terms of, like...
Overall,
like, actually doing something with the era of sitcom, like being able to
yeah.
pull something from that. I think it was because obviously they were like mimicking the style of comedy, and just like the different tropes used in each era. I think with that era specifically, because that era was when we're introduced to Billy and Tommy, when we but there's just a lot of things going on in that, and that's when we get this like the first confrontation between Vision and Wanda.
Yeah.
And I think there's just so many things there that were working.
Pulled together.
Yeah.
That's fair. So you think like that's your favorite from?
That was my favorite sitcom episode.
Okay.
What about you guys? You said 90s.
I think the 90s, like specifically the opening, it brought me back.
Opening, yeah.
It brought me back to when I used to watch sitcoms and not even know that they were sitcoms. Like it was definitely Malcolm in the Middle, and like that's what I was watching, or like iCarly and shit like that, where like it's like
you're gonna get copyrighted. Don't.
Those are the. That was a cover. Don't even.
It's a cover.
Kind of bad one.
But there's like I think like that was the only one that I had like a nostalgic pull towards, and I think that's why, cause I could it was like an inside joke. Like all of them were obviously inside jokes, but you had to like I didn't watch Full House. I didn't watch like Modern Family. I didn't watch like.
See, and I think my favorite, like one of my favorite sitcoms in like just now is Modern Family. So watching that episode, I was like, it literally, that's the Modern Family kitchen, you know, when she was in. So there's like a lot of things I could pull from that, but
and I was like, so it's like because I never watched a ton of sitcoms, so I think that was the one that like just nostalgically like pulled me in. But if I had to pick because I like them all for different reasons. I think like the first two episodes, the 50s and 60s, are just like they just feel crisp, like classic, like clean cut.
They did it so well.
Yeah, and
you wouldn't be able to like if those were standalone you would think that they were literally from the 50s and 60s.
It's like well done. If it wasn't literally Elizabeth Olsen and Paul, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't know those.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the 50s are my favorite, just because like
she looks so good.
She looks so good.
Good.
That dress is so beautiful. But like, yeah, they just executed it so well, and even like with their acting, like their acting was just like so good, and they look good.
The Modern Family episode is definitely the funniest.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think that shit is so funny.
When Agatha's like, she's like, don't worry, I don't bite. And she's like, I did bite, kid. God damn.
And everybody thought that it was like dumb, but I really like the when Wanda's just a case of Mondays, I guess. I think it's so funny. It's just like, but okay, what's your favorite genre?
Vision.
No.
Period. Vision.
I don't know.
Like daydreaming.
Yeah. I don't know. Not even Paul Bettany, just Vision.
Like
except for
Vision
Paul Bettany in that
when-
other
okay,
movie.
but I was gonna say,
Except
the
for
thing
Paul
is that
Bettany in the other movie.
I'm probably more attracted to Paul Bettany than I am Vision.
God damn. Not Paul Bettany now, though. He looks
I'm
like Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, okay, but Jeff Goldblum is kind of an attractive man.
I'm not into older men, I don't think.
Jeff Goldblum talk.
It doesn't
What are
matter.
they called? White foxes?
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Silver fox. That's you, bud. Listen.
Yeesh. What happened to the podcast?
We're still going.
Still here.
I don't even know. I don't know. My first thought, I was like, well, I mentioned the Malcolm in the Middle episode purely because like the opening, like the intro of the song. I really, really like the brother trope that
The Uncle
Evan Peters
was
had.
like-
Yeah, that was so
He
funny.
was a
They like
nice
hit
addition
it.
to the
Yeah, they like hit it on the nose. It was really good. Like literally, like even from the intro, you could be like, that is gonna be so good. Like he's gonna be so good in that role. But I don't know if it would be my favorite, like out of all of them. My other thought was like again like the first two episodes, and I don't know why, but I feel like it's like we said, like it's just like crisp and clean and good, and like just like it's weird because it's like filled with nostalgic, but we were not here yet, so I don't like know what the draw is. But I'm also personally just like a fat sucker for the like
say fat slut.
Fat slut for Paul Bettany. Like a fat sucker for like the traditional working man kitchen wife, but not in like a weird sexism way, just like a honey, I'm home, and then I like that shit.
You like the aesthetic of the
I think it's fun and cute, and it makes me feel bubbly inside. So that's all. We're gonna move on. What's your guys' favorite character? You guys want to guess who mine is?
Agatha is a Capricorn.
Agatha is a Capricorn.
I completely forgot Agatha existed, but I think Agatha was one of the most like interesting characters.
She's so good.
Love Agatha.
I think Catherine Hahn,
so
who played her,
Yeah.
I think
She's so funny,
just
like real life,
everything.
and
It was
Literally
just-
one of my favorite actors now. Like
No,
because of that
genuinely.
performance, she's one of my favorite actors.
she,
It's like genuinely so.
she
well
did so
done.
much with the role because
Literally.
you never knew if she was there to like as a friend or as like a threat,
Yeah.
and it was in that like that thin line where you're like, fuck, this is I'm sorry, where
Sorry, Jordan.
Sorry, dog.
where I think like there's a lot of room to play, and I think that's what made her like
Yeah.
them like one of the more interesting. And I think especially when you found out that she was Agatha,
Yeah.
and how she just like it completely flipped and like that character. Oh, also the opening sequence in Salem, I genuinely when you like saw her as a witch in Salem, I was like, god damn.
Also,
it's like badass.
can we talk about the fact that like what's her name in real life?
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine. Okay, she plays every single role, almost every single role. I saw it on TikTok. Every single role that she's had, like even outside of WandaVision, she played like some weird mischievous character that like messed up the plot for somebody or was like a very not like villainous enemy type beat. And I was like, obviously you're made
Mans
for
has
this.
range
I
though.
just recently watched a movie with her. I didn't know
She was in The Office.
she was in this movie called Flower. Kind of weird movie about this girl that it doesn't matter. But she was in that movie. She was her mom. She wasn't in it for like a long time, but like she
She had an impact though.
Yeah, like you can just like kind of tell like she's just
That's
She's
her
good
arc.
with-
She's a
She's
strong
just
actress.
good.
Mans has range. Mans has absolute range.
Oh my god, I was just thinking about, this is kind of off topic, not really, kind of. I was just thinking about the commercials, and then I thought about the one in the 90s with the claymation, and I was like, what did that end up meaning in the
Eat
end?
your
And I was,
magic.
Eat your magic.
Eat your magic, because the Agatha would literally
Wants to
drain,
eat your magic.
she would literally
She
drain,
wants to eat
Your magic.
but like it literally told us because it would like the kid like got his magic drained, and he literally and that's what she would do to the people she drained the magic
I
of.
still fucking believe that is foreshadowing Agatha coming back to get
Oh,
Billy
she's 100% coming
in the
back.
future. I still think because
That,
it was
if
like,
they wouldn't have kept her around, if they weren't going to use her in the future.
But she's 100% coming back, but specifically as like an to antagonize Billy. And then I also feel
she's
like
homophobic.
God damn it!
Damn it!
I don't. Is she gonna get them because they're
They're
Yeah.
gay.
She
Like a
wants to
gay
be like
witch
the
hunt.
most powerful. It's a gay witch hunt.
Agatha, you cannot tell me that Agatha
Not a little
is
bit gay.
straight.
It was a little bit
A
gay.
Oh
bunch
no,
of-
she's gay.
A bunch of gay witches fighting in the sky? Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
kidding me?
Literally.
Wanda's bisexual.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
absolutely. Oh,
Wanda.
I think, like seriously though, my favorite characters. The first one that comes to my mind is Monica Rambeau, and maybe it's because I'm black. Monica is so cool,
Yeah.
and like
I said Monda.
Manda, she's like
Monica's a
so.
solid character.
She's so cool, and maybe it's like weird because I'm like, oh, like black representation, like I've never had that before. But I was like an almost 19-year-old adult child.
I thought I said
19-year-old bitch.
19-year-old bitch.
Like I'm still like looking at the screen being like, oh my god, like she's like being set up as like this all powerful hero, like who could probably kick ass. I don't know that much backstory about her, but obviously she has some shit to do. And then she got that end credit scene where they're like, we're gonna take you to space, and she was like, already been there, idiots. And I was like, it's kind of cool. She's kind of cool.
Photon is her superpower.
Yeah,
Spectrum,
and I'm like,
Photon.
Yeah, like I'm really, really excited about it. I also like her as an actor because in the after bloopers, the featurette, she was so cute.
Yeah.
She was so cute, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't really know what's happening, but I'm so excited to be
She
here."
seems so little.
Yeah.
Like
I was like, "Oh my god, I want you to be my friend."
I think. So, I think there were some performances that I was like, it's not like Jimmy Woo. It's like he's not like meant to be in Marvel movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hayward's like it's just like such a like a one dimensional.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
But Monica, genuinely, Teyona Paris, I think her name is. She was like that. That was one of the stronger performances.
Yeah, she pulls through. And I think, like, seeing her personality in the featurette is, like, really bubbly and light. And she's like, hee. And then seeing, like, who Monica Rambeau is, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I was like, and if they spent, like, as writers, I think the reason that they didn't spend as much time with her is because they were like, well, this is A, Wanda story, but B, so we're like, if we're under a time constraint, we're going to prioritize Wanda. But on top of that, Monica is obviously going to have her own story and other pieces in, like, whatever is going on in the world. In space.
Oh, she's gonna be in Captain Marvel too.
But I think, like, if they spent more...
They're gonna beef it out.
I
hope she kicks
Oh,
Brie Larson's
man.
ass.
I think, like, she's obviously gonna get more time, but I think, like, if we would have spent more time with her, I think, like, that's a really genuinely interesting, like, well-written, well-drawn-out character. I'm excited to see what she does in the future.
I think that's also...
What if her and Loki start dating?
That's such a random ass...
That was like a what? Monica and Loki, absolutely not. I think
Monica's like a child compared to Loki. Well, Loki is a bajillion years
like
old.
Loki's literally a god.
Oh, really? What was I going? Oh, I was going to say that that's probably like in my top 3 reason. Like what? How do you feel about WandaVision? I really like that the entire they created such a big platform for like a running platform for all these new characters, and I thought it was like really good, especially obviously it was like the first thing that we have in phase 15 15 but they did a really, really good job with like setting up this huge runway for all of these like new characters but also setting up Wanda. And I wanted to bring this up also the very, very last scene of her in the cabin is so good. I think about it often. I often think about that scene.
I think about Wanda finally becoming the Scarlet Witch.
I was like, dude, it's too good.
Oh, that scene was so good.
I think about her saying thanks for the lesson and then
murking,
and freaking
like the
imprisoning
pan around,
her.
and the pan around shot while
it took you a while to figure that out.
I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait a second. Because in my head I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is a CGI clusterfuck. That last episode was a CGI, just like two like pieces of plastic punching each other in the face, and
they said that like the CGI in the last episode was not finished.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, you can tell that they were like, just get it together and put it out, just put it out.
But however, when they went to the sky and when she finally turned into the Scarlet Witch, that was like, you could tell that they spent a lot of time on that CGI.
Oh yeah.
Because that shit looked beautiful.
They definitely prioritized that, and it worked out. But and then.
Yeah, I feel that
Vision having a philosophical
that was so
conversation
funny
in a library with himself about who is the real him.
But I think the conversation was the first time I watched the episode, I was like, what the I was like, I don't fucking care about Vision right now. I want to see what's going on with Wanda. But then, like, on second watch, or when I went back, I watched it, and I was, like, listening to the conversation, actually listening to it, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is, like...
It's the fact that the first time that... No, it's, like, a good... Like,
it's, like, a genuinely...
It's like a philosophy concept that a lot of people have studied. Like if you take the head off of a hammer and replace it, is it still the same hammer?
Right.
And then him coming to the conclusion, because there's not really a conclusion, but him coming to the conclusion that they are both him, and, like basically just kind of declares that he's, like, infinite within this universe.
Yeah.
And that, like, he will, like, and I don't even know what he convinces white man to do. But white man flies away.
White man's scared.
He, like... At first I was like, what is happening? But then... I genuinely like that scene a lot.
It's good. It's really good. And I think the fact that it happens in a library, it's just pretty. Everything's just pretty.
They're like pages, like, because they were like fighting in there previously, and then there's like pages falling, and I was like, this is good. Beautiful.
It's pretty. It's really well done, and I think who directed it? I keep wanting to say Joss Whedon.
Don't bring that man up.
No, Joss Whedon.
I don't know who directed it. Some people say I directed it.
Okay, Chris did it.
How'd you guys like it?
Not me though. Just you.
Okay, so also one of my favorite scenes from the episode is when there's like it goes wide and you see the two kids and WandaVision like pose, and then it like rushes in, and then he goes, what does he say? He goes.
He's looking through this whole entire script of the whole show in his head.
He says something like da 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 da, but you were born for this.
Oh yeah, he was like, we never taught you about.
We never taught, but you were born for this, and I was like,
oh my god! You spend almost the entire show, like we spent the entire show like screaming at the TV, like
oh my god,
Wanda! Like full. At the top of our lungs, it's just like,
and it's just like the energy, like Wanda, like she turns to the kids and she's like, handle the military, and she's like, I got a bitch to deal with, and she like flies away, and you're like, fuck, fucking bitch up.
They're so good. Ooh, actually, never mind. That didn't make any sense. I'm gonna pass the torch.
Can we also talk about how Hayward like was about to fire on the kids, like just like murder kids?
Oh,
fire!
Literally, just like
he said
some children.
And
also
Monica caught it.
He got outsmarted by Jimmy Woo. Like a very easy setup. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna trap you," and Jimmy Woo was like, "Okay, just wait till my buddies get here. Don't look though, I'm gonna snatch your phone." He was like, "Okay, I'll look over here." And then he got out, and I was like, "You're stupid. You're kind of stupid." Stupid.
I hated Hayward.
I wanted to punch him.
Ugly man.
Like because of his writing, or because of the acting, or because of
all of it. He was just a bitch.
I do like his scene though with Wanda when he was like edging her on because he knew that she could bring. He like wanted to see what she would do to his body.
Yeah.
And he was like coercing her into like.
And he was like, just let her see it or whatever.
Yeah, but
Also, it's horrifying. It was horrifying to see Vision split into pieces on the table. It was like, and like to see her having to react to it. It was like painful to be. It was like, fuck, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see.
Oh my god! And she had that line where she goes, where she sees him and she goes, "I can't feel you," and like, I mean, like, it. The reason why it resonated so much is because of the lines that they exchanged in Infinity War.
Yeah.
When he goes, "I only feel you," and I was like, "Oh no." And then that same episode when she goes to the town Westview and you realize that that's where they were supposed to live.
Yeah, that was horrible. I was like,
oh my god! But that scene, and then when she finally you see her create, I was like,
that shit was wild.
And then she they're in the room and she's like creating the Vision from her existence. I was like, oh my god, this show's.
She's Vision's mom.
No.
Oh, she's talking about
Vision's gigantic penis.
Damn it.
But yeah, overall, I think this show ranks very highly in terms of like MCU projects and just in general.
Yeah.
I just like very much enjoy the story, the narrative, everything.
Do you guys think that, like, I'm not very educated on the MCU yet. Actually, I've not finished all of the movies, so, but do you guys, like, do you think they're going to keep up production-wise with, like, with everything else that they have planned? Or do you think this is, like, maybe possibly going to be, like, a peak and then everything else is going to be downhill?
Well, I feel like Marvel movies compared to Marvel TV shows are, like, really different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
But the majority of
I
them are
think it's
shows.
too early to make that judgment, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because
too.
WandaVision, like, the reason why, like, WandaVision existed was because they had this idea for the narrative, and they said, we can't tell the story. It wouldn't work on, like, in a movie, like, platform, like, in film. And WandaVision is just so vastly different because of, like, they utilized that platform so well. They said, we're gonna fucking make a TV show.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like it's too early to say, like, oh, like, they're, like, on two different spectrums because we haven't even seen any of the other. I think we'll be able to start making that judgment with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, on a general consensus,
on a scale of
1 to 10, like,
Wanda
based on...
versus Hayward, where do we... Monica in the middle, I'd say. The boys are a little bit above Monica.
Yeah.
I think, so we'll do, like, general consensus on
Jimmy
1 to 10.
Woo is towards
Like,
Hayward,
just based on
maybe.
quality
And
I feel like
entertainment
value.
technical,
right,
like, the whole shebang.
score,
Like
everything.
The whole
Maybe.
shebang.
It's like off
Yeah.
the scale.
Whole shebang. I would say WandaVision, for me, is, like, a 7 or 8.
That's what I was
I'm at
gonna
the same
say.
place.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
so
gonna say
probably like
7.
7.5.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
7 or 8 though. 7 or 8 out of 10.
Here.
That's a C plus.
Why are our standards so high? What have you guys watched? I don't watch shit.
Having that being said, a 5 is an F and everything below
I don't think we have to
5 is
apply.
an F
Just
minus F
Stop
minus.
thinking. Yeah, don't, because I think it's 7.5. That's, like, strong. It's, like, really
Yeah,
strong.
that's
Yeah.
more in my head. It's like an A.
And the only reason why it's
Minus.
not higher is because there were some, like,
They didn't have time.
Yeah,
And
it was just-
Yeah.
I want them to release the deleted scenes. They probably will, obviously. But
right. But the bunny was supposed to turn into like a giant demon that the kids fought.
good.
What the fuck?
Good ones. Where's
Yeah,
that
I
scene
need
list?
that
There's
shit.
a lot of
Yeah.
threads that are like missing. So yeah, like 7.5. That it's pretty strong. 7.5, 8, I'd say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd honestly lean more towards the 8
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
They just did such a
it was
good
just it's an
job.
amazing show. It's like genuinely
Mhm.
an amazing show.
It makes you feel good, like you're
Yeah.
watching something that you're
Yeah.
like excited
Quality
for.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, your guys' turn now.
All right, yep. I agree.
Yeah, I gave it like a 7 or 8. Definitely leaning towards 8. It was good. I liked it. Overall, it was like, just as like an overall thing, it was solid. Like there was not like a lot of.
Your tit is showing.
Well, stop fucking looking at it.
Okay.
Your
All
turn.
right. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. That's all right. All right.
Well,
Okay,
we have to
bye.
come to a general consensus, like
Oh,
Good.
I think the
So-
general
1, 2, 3,
consensus is
good.
7.5.
7.5.
7
That
and a
are
half.
like
Yeah.
average. It's a
Yeah.
7.5.
All right.
Bye, guys. Bye,
Bye.
Jordan.
We
Gotta
rate
clap.
it.
But
Clap.